Welcome to Off the Couch Podcast, where we support everything movement, fitness, and performance related. From work, exercise, hobbies, and everything in between. If it inspires you to get off the couch and get moving, we're all about it. So let's dive in.
Hey guys, this is CJ. Welcome to Off the Couch Podcast. I got Chris here again. You guys didn't see the last one because I didn't record it with sound. So hopefully you're seeing this one. Hopefully you're hearing this one.
Okay.
Maybe we'll put the other one out and you guys can figure out what we're saying. Hopefully we can replicate some of that stuff, but you guys can mime it. And if you're good at reading lips, like a Navy SEAL or something like that, you can figure it out. But yeah, we got Chris Panapinto here. Chris is a member here. He's been a member here for some years. How you doing today, Chris?
I'm great. So happy to be here all the time, no matter what we're doing, even if it sucks.
Yeah, and frequently it does.
It really, yeah, it much does. But it's always worth it.
Yeah,
it's always worth it.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Like, I think we get stuck in like in the idea that every workout needs to be either crazy hard or it should never be that hard. Like there's people in the world who think like, well, CrossFitters for the most part think that every workout needs to be so aggressive that I crawl out of the building. And then there's people who don't do CrossFit or people who don't go hard in the gym. And they're like, I should never leave out of breath. I should never leave kind of like shaky. And like, that's why you never get results if you don't do those things.
Not here.
No, not here. No.
Okay, good.
Here.
No, because everybody that leaves here is huffing and puffing and sweating. Because once you get involved, once you get in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
It's crazy good. It's crazy good, even if it sucks real bad. Yesterday sucked real bad, but it was crazy good. But if you go to like one of the other gyms, and I've done all the other gyms, no results. You lift in properly. There's no direction. You can get hurt easy. There's never any progress. It's boring, and it's a waste of the time. That time you go into the other gyms, you're waiting for other people. It's not an uplifting environment. You go in there like a tomb.
Yeah.
You ever been in one of those in the off hours?
Yeah.
It's like a tomb. Here, the electricity starts in the parking lot. You pull up and you see whose cars are here.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's when the party starts.
That is true. Huh? That is an awesome thing, especially like when you have partner workouts. You're looking to see who am I going to partner with today, who's here. Because you don't necessarily know until you show up, right? Like even people who reserve, not everybody reserves for classes the way they should reserve for classes, please. But you show up and you're like, who's here? Who can I partner with? Who's going to push me today to my limit that I need to be pushed to? And some days you're like, who can I partner with who's not going to kill me today?
Okay, I get that. Okay, there's some of the guys, the firefighters, the first responders.
Yeah.
When they're having a quiet Friday, they'll pick me. And I mean, okay, you're 27 and you can box, jump, and burpee all the time. So you buy some time. But there have been occasions, and the younger people, they will partner with me, and I can keep up.
That's awesome.
I can keep
up.
Awesome. And there was one time, one of the guys, he partnered with me, and he thought, well, he's old, he's gonna
go slow.
We were rowing and burpees, and it's like, come on, man, let's go. And he's like,
that's awesome.
It really.
Everybody who has done CrossFit for a long enough time, you've been sacrificed to the god of fitness, and you've been the god of fitness that day to sacrifice somebody else to the god of fitness. So it's awesome to be on both sides of that. I say every year we do this workout on the New Year's Eve, and I do it with Gobs almost every year. It's 31-minute AMRAP, 31 burpee box jumps, 31 deadlift, 31 partner wall balls, where the wall ball goes up and you switch partners each time. About 12 minutes in, I'm like, oh my God, God is trying to kill me every year.
But
every single year.
You get through it?
I get through it.
Okay,
every year.
Why 31? What?
Because it's just the last day of the year, so it's the 31st day.
Okay.
New Year's Eve. So
there's always a trick to this.
Yeah, well, and 31 minutes is so long to do three movements. It's incredibly long. So yeah, like if it was like Murph, it wouldn't be like 31 minutes is fast for Murph, right? But like.
Oh well, yeah, but it's much more. It's way intense.
Yeah, when it's one person, right?
Yeah, it's one person, and it's not just the exercise. It's not just the movements, because that's a classic.
Yes.
Even people who don't do CrossFit know what that is.
Yes.
And they should. Yeah. But that's an epic workout. That's an epic workout. The fun at the end of the year. Enjoy your
dude. I remember the first year we did it. I was probably like 9 minutes in, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm not going to make it." And And Gob's, he knows me enough, like we've partnered together enough that he knows, like, hey, if I just don't slow down, his ego, like my ego, won't let me.
Won't let you slow down.
It won't let me let him down, right?
Okay.
So like I will push myself to not let him down as my partner. And because of that, he didn't try to crush me, but he crushed me into the ground that workout the first time we did it. It was awesome. It's a classic memory of mine, but yeah, but we've all been there.
Good. We have all been there, and all the partner workouts are like that. It's rare that they're easy, and then you want to keep up. You don't want to let your partner down. This is my big fear thing, because I'm older. I don't want to partner with people because I don't want to hold them back. Because they come here, they want the full workout. They know it's supposed to suck worse than it does, and they don't. They want to give it their all, because this is the only time they get to do it. Once it's over, we're back to work, we're back to school. You might not get in here on Saturday.
Yeah.
You might have to work on Monday.
Yes,
so life happens. So you take a bite out of the apple when you can.
Yes.
And you really, it sucked, but it's done, and it's rewarding. Every single time it's rewarding.
That's awesome.
The bad days, if you injure yourself, if something goes wrong, some days. This happened a couple weeks ago. I just wanted to kill the work and I couldn't get my rhythm. I was knocking over the weights and falling over the box and just full moon. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but I came in with my heart just wanted to explode into the workout, and man, oh man.
Yeah.
To this moment, I regret that day. I should have gone.
That speaks to a little bit of setting expectations for the workout. Some days, like sometimes we put too much on ourselves or too much on a workout. Like we go in and expect to do so well in a workout, and when it doesn't go the way we want to, we kind of leave here feeling less than we did when we came in the door. And I think we've all done it. I'm guilty of it, especially like when I was more competitive. I was guilty of it, of going in and expecting to do one thing and like it not going perfectly. So you kind of fall apart and you think poorly of yourself.
You do.
But it's also like that's also a workout as well. Like the mental portion, like learning how to adapt to that, because life happens, right? Things don't go as expected all the time.
Then you want to say, oh, it's okay, it'll be better next time. I had a really bad day. Crystal went out with me, and she's wonderful. And she goes, it'll be better next time. It's like, I didn't whine to her, but it's like, but I just wasted the time. I didn't capitalize on the time.
Yeah, I'll say you didn't waste it, but you didn't capitalize.
But I didn't capitalize on it.
So that's a better use of the words. Yeah, because even a bad workout, even when you come in and you only give 70% of the max that you could have gotten out of the workout, that's still 70% of what people are doing everywhere else. So.
But you're not thinking of the other people.
Yes, this is true.
Okay. Just that we get here, there's a bunch of other people that just won't get here, and I don't understand why they don't get here. But yeah, I know the workouts are hard. The mental, not anguish, the mental strength comes with it, and who doesn't need that? And the people that we get, you'll get the teachers, other athletes, you get first responders, the firefighters, the cops, people that are serious about life in general. They come here and it's serious, and they get the full benefit out of it. You go to another gym, it's like you're just hanging out. The place that I used to go before we found here, I thought it was a really good workout. I love the guy who trained the class, but he was mostly a runner. He was mostly a runner. So the kettlebells, the bands, no free weights.
Okay.
No free weights, and we'd do that workout, and we'd do it, and you'd stretch, and then you'd do some yoga, and then it was over. And I thought those were hard. I thought those were hard, and then I came here, and it was what I thought it should be. It's what I thought it should be, and it is. It is every day. It is every time. It's such a benefit to come here, because if you don't, then people don't get it. The day is gone. Okay. Yeah. Now, a lot of people work out because next year we talked about this, they want to look good at the beach next year.
Yeah.
The future is right now.
Yes.
The future is right now. So you do it right now. All these people, God bless them, they're all goosebumps.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the flies, every time we podcast, they come out of nowhere.
It's the weather. It's the weather. They're stuck in here. They like the warm air. But the workouts here are intense. They're made to be intense. You get a better bang for your buck. But you get everything you want, the real person that you want to be, because people look in the mirror, they see themselves fat, or they see themselves or not a muscular frame or whatever. You could be that here. Yeah. That's here, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
So you don't want to miss it when you do it. But it's a blessing to be here. When I first found CrossFit, we were just driving down the street, and I was okay with my workouts, And we were driving by the old location
down the street,
location, and Eileen, my wife, she's out of town this week. That's what part of the problem is.
Okay, so your rhythm's off a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Our better halves. We'll get into that too.
Amen to that. Yeah. Yeah. But she goes, "We'll try this place." It's like, Jim, whatever. So we pulled in, and it was absolutely meant to happen because the way it did unfold. The old crew is down there. Dan and Mike, and ever since you mentioned Mike, I think about him every day now.
Mullins, Mr. Mullins. And I saw David the other day too.
Really?
He's taking care of, Dan's out of town. Him and his wife are in Switzerland because he's in the military. So he has some military stuff to take care of in Germany. But then they're touring Europe. So David's taking care of the kids. So I see him at the ice rink all the time. Yeah.
Boy, it'd be good to work out with him again.
Yeah, I told him he's going to get back in here.
But they were just finishing the workout, and they all come piling out of the gym area to the rest area, and they all collapse in front of us. And they're all athletes. They're all built athletes, men, women. I mean, and Eileen leans over and she goes, "This is the gym for you." And she was right. She was right. And ever since then, because of the people that are here, the community that's here, you are part of. You automatically belong.
Yeah.
You automatically belong, even if you're, well, not different. I mean, we're all different, but we're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
Okay, which is really good. So everybody's equal. Everybody's equal.
It's a mindset I think that most CrossFitters have. I don't know what the exact thing is, but it's the mindset of always pursuing. We're all pursuing excellence in our own way, whether it's in our personal lives, in our gym lives, professional lives. We're all pursuing excellence. There's actually another podcast by Ben Bergeron. I'm not sure if it's still around or not. It's called Pursuing Excellence because we're all pursuing the same things. We're all trying to get better every single day. And that's that mindset that speaks to what a CrossFitter is.
Right, but you want to have that. And the days that pay off are great, and there's more good days than bad days. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But the bad days, they do stand out a little bit. But we're just glad to be here.
Yeah.
For what it is.
Well, Chris, let's get into, we got into your background a little bit in the last one. Of course, we didn't have audio to it, but let's get into that a little bit. Let's let everybody know kind of where you're from, your background, your history, and then we'll get back into the CrossFit stuff a little bit.
Right. Born in upstate New York, very cold, horribly cold winters, right off Lake Erie. The news channel talk about lake effect. They say that now.
Yeah, like lake effect snow, yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't call it lake effect. There wasn't a word for it. It was just bitter cold.
Yeah.
I mean, it would go right through your clothing. Oh, we lived back there, Italian families, Mandinas and Panapintos. My dad worked for the family business. The grandfather owned the business. He passed away. Didn't leave it to everybody. Left it to the oldest son, and he liquidated everything. So now everybody's out of work.
And the family business was?
Paving.
Paving.
Heavy equipment. It's weird because I can operate most heavy equipment now, and I never really experienced a whole lot of it. But I have a Jack Russell that if I take out a gun, he knows what it is, and he knows what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, which is weird. So, but I know how to operate.
It's epigenetics, huh? This is in you.
Yeah, it's just in you. But all the family was back there. Everybody's back in upstate New York, and the exiting the business caused a quake in the family. We moved out to the deserts, Las Vegas, Yuma. Okay, we went to Yuma first. My dad installed radio towers. Back then, in the 60s, Yuma was nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. And I mean, it was just barren desert, but it's beautiful desert.
Yeah.
Okay? So I had to grow up in that, but things were tight. Money was tight. We were completely poor, which was great. I mean, I remember some really thin Thanksgivings, but it makes you honor the holidays, makes you enjoy the holidays more.
Yeah.
Makes you respect the holidays more. So we moved around out in the deserts. It was better for my mom. She had a lung condition. We didn't talk about this.
No, we didn't. I don't remember this lung condition thing. Let's get into that.
Okay, my mom, she had a lung issue, and back in the day, they didn't have the therapies we have now. Laid her on her stomach and butterflied her back and took out the whole lung.
Okay.
Okay, so there's no lung here on this side.
So she had no left lung?
She had no left lung. Okay. And I think they took out a third of this one.
Jesus, so she was really... Okay.
Yes, and we talked about this other part. They told her, okay, we were in Phoenix at the time. I remember a picture of me on the outside of the hospital looking into her window because they didn't let kids into the ICU units back then. You weren't allowed, period.
Yeah.
So you were separated perfectly. They told her, no stress, bedridden, wheelchair, oxygen, no more children, nothing, you know. And she went through that. She never went on oxygen. She never used a wheelchair. She never stopped getting better. She never stopped getting better, just to put it in their face. And then, back then, I mean, doctors and women were still in the 60s subservient.
Yeah, they were still less than by society standards, absolutely.
So, you know, but she defied all of that, which is great. Then years later, my parents suffered a divorce in the mid-'70s, and incredibly stressful, just a terrible event. I was lucky because I could escape. I got out of the house. I was a teenager, got out of the house. My mom had to live through it. By then I had a little brother and a little sister, which my mom wasn't supposed to have the kids.
Which, how far apart are you guys in age, as far as like 10 years apart?
Yeah, 5.
5 years apart each?
3 and 5.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we're about, on average, 4.
And your little brother and little sister, they're from second marriage?
No, they're from my dad.
Okay.
My mom fought through the thing in the hospital with the lung and all that. Okay. And then she had Matt and Ninette, and then I have 2 older brothers. Okay. But because of the way the family was raised back east, we're very separate. We're very scattered. We still, when we communicate, we're always on the same page, which is weird, but it's rare. It's rare. We're all individuals. They're all entrepreneurs. They all run their own businesses. And with that, my mom, during the divorce, my dad was, I remember one of the arguments, he was yelling at her, "You can only cook, clean, and sew," which is, I guess, would be an insult. Which would be an insult.
Yes, well, it's pretty, if to say somebody can only do a couple, like 3 things.
Yeah, but back then, the position was housewife.
Yeah.
I don't think we have that position anymore, but that's what it was. And, but he said that, and he's kind of he's a, I don't want to say mean, but.
Abrasive?
I don't know what the word is. Okay, I saw him. He walked up my driveway about 3 years ago. I hadn't seen him for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
One of the first things he says is, "I thought you'd be fat." What? So,
this is one of those characters you see in the movie, like, just doesn't know what to say.
Well, yeah, but you came all this way. You came all this way, and that's what you led with? I mean, I just don't, so I don't understand. It's like, but that immediately shuts down any avenues of communication, because I don't want to walk into that. I've seen it before. I mean, I hate to predetermine, but you have to protect yourself, and so you do.
Well, so as soon as you hear, I thought you'd be fat, you go into defense mode, and you're like, I'm ready to fight now. I'm ready to have this verbal fisticuffs.
But I was glad to see him, and I thought, wow, okay, this could be something. This could be a new beginning. This could be something.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be fat. It's like, no, it's not going to be anything. You know, it was like, it's so disappointing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you get older, and once you get to be my age, life takes more things away than it gives. So you want to measure what you lose carefully. You want to measure it carefully. So they had this horrible divorce in the mid-'70s, and the cook, clean, and sew thing. My brother got into youth sports, and at first he was in hockey. Now, in Tucson, Arizona, they had this thing, Iceland Bowl, and it was half the size of a hockey rink.
Because it's going to be hard to keep cold.
In the middle of the desert.
Well, in the middle of the desert, and back in the, what did you say, the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No technology. And I mean, it was an amazing place. But my little brother was a spectacular goalkeeper for the hockey team. And he was a natural athlete, but he was smart too. So, and that's, if you're an athlete, you can just be, like, I was a good athlete, but I wasn't necessarily the smart athlete.
Yes.
My little brother's smart athlete. Bill, smart athlete. Love working out with Bill.
Bill Blaze?
Yes.
Bill Blaze is awesome.
He is the smartest guy in the room, but he is. Because when he tells you how to work out, you should listen.
Well, because he's very, he has an engineer's mindset.
Yes.
Right? So he's trying to, let's minimize waste. Let's be as efficient as possible.
Yes.
And so we're going to set up the workout in this way.
Yes.
Dumbbells go here, your box goes here, your jump rope goes right here. I'm not going to waste time walking around.
But more than that, okay? So if there's a run in it, and he's an excellent runner, but if there's a run piece to it and then a lifting piece, he will do a great run, but not so great that he's tanked to do the rest of it. So run behind Bill. Run behind Bill. That's all you have to do. You don't have to talk to him. Just run behind him.
He sets a good pace for himself.
And he sets a wonderful pace, and you're guaranteed to have a good workout if you listen to Bill, which is great. But my little brother's in hockey, and it was a very productive time for him. And then he got into soccer. And he was a goaltender, but naturally skilled and smart about his play. This coach is Wolfgang Weber. And then he goes to my mom one day and he's like, we're all looking the same. I want to look different. So she makes him a different uniform, shiny black with these neon lightning bolts across
it. Just created it on her own. She sewed it herself.
Oh,
Sewed
my
machine
mom.
out.
Okay, sorry. Let's backtrack on my mom a little. In Las Vegas, okay, whatever.
You can't fake. What's funny is we've been through this already, and you can't fake the stories.
And get goosebumps.
It's not like it's freezing here. I'm wearing a hoodie just because I have to wear a hoodie, but it's not like it's freezing in here.
Okay.
He's got goosebumps on his arms.
My mom, wow, what a spectacular person. In Las Vegas, she's sewing, because that's what you do. She sews. For Tom Jones, Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand was a mean person. Threw Barbara Streisand out of our house. Tom Jones was just like, wow, what a guy. What a guy. But she would make all these fashions. She would design them. She designed gowns for Caesar's Palace. She had her portrait done at Caesar's Palace in one of the gowns that she had made. Holy cow. I mean, she looked like a Greek goddess, okay? But really, cook, clean, and sew. I mean, there was always good food on the table, and she could sew like she had the skill set.
Yeah.
But she could design, too. She could design. My little sister picked that up from my mom, too, the design thing. I didn't get any of that. I'm not the smart athlete. Okay. But that's okay.
You're a worker, though. You're a hard worker.
But they got, the heart is there. But he wanted a different uniform, so she made the uniform. And, the first time he wore it, in the stadium, the Tucson shootout or whatever it was, the big soccer tournament, silence in the arena. Like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this?
What was that kid wearing?
Who is he? Why is he on the field like that? In the box, I mean, and since then, so at that point, Iger Sportswear was founded. My mom joined with Wolfgang Weber, the coach. They designed uniforms. They got the materials. They made custom-made uniforms. They made uniforms for not the Astros, the Metros, the Pele.
Okay.
New York.
Metropolitan.
Buenos Aires. The doctor, when she got out of hospital, no stress, no flying, no exercise, nothing stressful. She founded the company. She's the CEO. She goes to Italy. She goes to Germany. She goes to Switzerland. She buys her own fabric. She flies everywhere. She meets the teams. She actually does the work. She hires staff. They sew. They make these things. She was an absolute perfectionist, but they made a great product. So my little brother, Wolfgang Weber, and my mom, they formed this company, Iger Sportswear. And for 40 years, that's what she did with no stress. She's a CEO. She did everything. So there was, I would imagine, a huge amount of stress. My mom's nickname was the Barracuda, which is not exactly gentle, but she was the boss, and she did really, really well. And they did great with the business. The part about the lung, this was her downfall, because your heart is right here. And through all those years, nothing happened. She ran, whenever she'd go to New York, she'd run the New York Marathon. She always
on 3/4 of a lung.
Right. She would always
a lung.
A lung, right. And here, there's less oxygen here, so your lungs actually grow. You get long lungs.
Okay.
Well, down there, Tucson, Las Vegas, it's 2,000 feet, it's 1,500 feet, so your lungs don't really grow. But she was really a spectacular athlete. She would win her age group in the New York Marathon every year, which is...
It's a spectacular. That's incredible.
It is, and she's 80 years old running it. It's crazy. Then one day, and I believe she was with her physician, Stephen Knope in Tucson, Arizona, her heart dislodged, fell over. And that was the beginning of the end, because it screwed up the blood flow. It triggered a whole cascade of effects that eventually did take her life.
Yeah.
Okay, did take her life. My little brother, Matt, and her husband at that point, Wolfgang Weber, took care of everything. They looked after my mom. They bore the whole burden, but those three were the team. They bore that whole burden. We were all outside of it, because they were very, very well connected with each other.
Yeah.
So to get involved would be wrong.
Can we dig into your mom's passing a little bit, if you don't mind?
Sure.
You said it was the beginning of the end. How long from the heart dislodging to passing was it? Was it a quick thing? Was it a long thing?
No, it was a long thing. Okay. It was long, and truly, it was only a few years. But every day for my brother and Wolfgang had to be a battle, because we'd see glimpses of it. Eileen and I were out there one day, and we had dinner and we were spending time with them, and we're all sitting on the couch, and my mom is very quiet, Alzheimer's. Okay. She's very quiet, very self-contained, or else all over the map. Okay. And then Wolfgang says, well, what time is your flight out tomorrow? And before I can answer, my mom says 10:45. Just like that, 10:45. It's like, where did that come from? It was 10:45.
Yeah.
She knew. So, she, her life is going in and out. And I do believe that if my mom knew that they were prolonging her life, she would be pissed off. Yeah. Okay, the lack of dignity or whatever, and that's why it was better self-contained. But it was a few years, it was very hard on them. They bore that burden like champions, because they are, Wolfgang and my little brother, Matt, they are really champion people. But they bore that whole thing, and my mom passed away, and it was more of a relief because her suffering.
Yeah, suffering was gone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And nobody wanted that, but that's the card they drew. But it's because her heart did follow. That's what started the whole thing. Okay. Other than that, her health was great. Her attitude, what a great person.
Yeah.
Now, these days, and if you still have your mom, if you guys still have your moms, take care of them. Eileen right now is with her mom. She's taking care of her mom. Her mom is 91. She is the last elder in this family, so she gets a lot of really premium care, because once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
And those things, I'll be at work and it's like something will be messed up and it's like, oh shit, I should call mom. No, I can't.
Yeah.
But well, how would she solve it? And I've done this regularly. How would she solve it? Well, this is the solution. And it's a better solution because of the way that they raised us. It was hard. It was rough. We did not have money. My dad was not a great guy, but we all turned out okay. So I'm not mad at my dad. I'm not angry about anything. I don't think I would want it any other way because I turned out the way I did.
It's a delicate balancing. And do you think you took like a lot of lessons from your dad and from your mom? Like obviously your mom's work ethic is bar none. Obviously, like you can.
Dad was a worker too.
Okay,
Dad
so
was
you
a hard
both
worker too.
Okay.
Hard worker too. But he was a hard ass or whatever. And he's raising us in this environment where he's got to move around to make the money because he felt he got the short stick from the family. And I guess that's something only he could determine. But he worked and worked and worked and worked, and we all got the work ethic from him, which is great. But it was emotionally and psychologically difficult at times. So we all went into things like sports or school or academia, whatever would work for the individual outside the family. Then I had kids. And my takeaway was what not to do, okay? And you do everything you can for your children, but they still turn out how they turn out, okay?
There's a certain amount of they're going to be who they are no matter what.
Right.
You can mold some structures.
You can try, yeah, but they're going to still. And we said this. I'm sure Ted Bundy's mom loved him very much. Yeah. I'm sure, but I mean, some things happen like that. But we were very fortunate with the hard times made us what we are today. All my brothers and sisters, very strong people, which is great. And I think a lot of the stuff that I took away was what not to do. So I didn't do it.
I think that's. Okay. I think so. There's a thing about like role models. I think having positive role models is important. It's also important to have, I guess you can say, negative role models.
Yeah.
People who you see do things and their life ends up in certain spaces, and you're like, I do not want to end up there, and I see what they did to get there. I'm not going to do that.
Okay. My two youngest sons, Matt and Paul, two youngest sons, they had to go to my high school, and all my sports shits. In the Wall of Fame, whatever they have, it's still in there. Ed Hockley, he's
the ref, with the guns, yeah.
He went to my high school. Okay, he went to my high school. So, but I'm still all in there. And then my kids are at that school, and they were way smarter than me. Period. Way smarter than me. They went into all the things that made them smart, but not sports because they were in this shadow that was never meant to be.
Yeah, so, it's impossible to fill those shoes unless they're just naturally crazy gifted, right? It's impossible to fill the shoes that are already there.
Right, but I didn't want them to either. I didn't want them to have to do that. So I really would have rather have them go to another high school. But they went and they did okay. Once they got out of that, they blossomed like you wouldn't believe. I mean, they're PhDs and they're way smart. They're way smart. They work in things that I would never. Couldn't even wrap my head around. But happy with proud of the kids. Proud of the kids. Don't know if I set a good role model for them, but I didn't want them to put up with the crap I put up with. I'm sure they put.
Well, so whatever you did, it worked out. Like,
it's on them. They did it.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming any glory here for those kids, but I'm so glad because they're all stable. They were married, the homes, careers. So if I die now, it's in the win column.
Yeah.
So which is
dubs.
Good. Yeah.
Take dubs when we get them.
Yeah. So happy about that. But upbringing was good. Turned into an athlete. Never a great athlete, always a good athlete. Training in Arizona in the sun, in the heat was great. Loved the warm. Not big on the cold.
Well, you're in Colorado now, though.
Yeah, for now. For now,
yeah.
But that'll change soon.
Yeah.
Not soon, but
yeah,
a couple
you
of
got
years.
a couple more years, yeah.
Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan.
Well, let's circle back around. You spoke about a little bit about finding CrossFit Mob back at the old location. Let's get into what were your first. We know what your first impression was. Everybody coming on, dying on the floor. But what was your first couple classes like? What was that experience like once you got through the door and actually got to start working out?
Okay. So you come in and you're the new guy, and there's the jargon, AMRAP, EMOM, things like that. So you got to wrap your head around that. And if you're really smart, you can get it. I'm not really smart, so it took me a little bit. So I'm watching everybody else go through the movements, and because I had been going to other gyms, weightlifting places, and other boot camp style type things, I'm listening to you guys train us because you go through all the motions. You start at the bottom. You start with the simplest of movements, and then you build it from there while we're warming up. Okay, and I'm doing everything wrong because I learned wrong. So I have to unlearn all the other stuff, and that was a bit burdensome because it's like, well, it's not this way. Why is it not this way? But it's not that way. So just go with the flow. So after a couple of classes, you go with the flow. You keep quiet. You pay attention, and you can feel. Gosh, you can feel the cohesion of the group. You can feel the team. You can feel that you're all Roman soldiers at that time. This is your cohort. These are your people. So you're working with your people, and you want to keep up. So you keep it up, and you start with that. Go, go, go. There's not a lot of time where you step back and say, I'm going to slow down and do this differently. You're not. You want to do it. You just want to do it. It's not like a drug or anything like that. It's fun. It's fun. And you can see the results. My first impression was the results that came and flopped down in front of me.
Yeah.
It's like, how did these people get into this condition? Because this is the condition I want to be in. This is why I say, the person you want to be is in this gym. All you have to do is come here and be it. Because it's here. But that was my first impressions of this place. And getting going in it and coming to class, the people that were in that class, there's been some movement. Some of them are gone. They've moved out of state. You think of Mike Mullins. You think of them all the time. And you miss them because the shared work. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, no other gym ever in my life never did anything like that.
Well, and I think the people portion, they become so much a part of your day. You look forward to seeing those people so much.
You really do. Did you look at the cars in the parking lot?
You look
and that's
forward
where
to seeing them so much, man. It's
No, it's true.
It's hard to put it into words because even as much as you may dread the workout coming up, you look forward to seeing the people so much. And then the community portion, like that's it's on the wall in both our core values and our mission statement is community, and that really speaks to what it's all about. Like it's all about making sure the community is good. The fitness portion obviously very important, but the community portion, man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, okay, because we do things outside of here too. We do things outside of here, but it is a community, and everybody is upright. Everybody is, law-abiding citizen, whatever, however you want to say that. You don't have anybody in here who's got the attitude outside of our normal range. Okay, you go to other gyms, and there's a bully in the gym or something like that. Yeah. None of that here. Everybody is here to help everybody, and it's good because if you're not doing something as safely as you could or as efficiently as you could, somebody will come up and say just the simplest things. One, keep your arms straight. I was doing the kipping. Keep your arms straight, and then I could suddenly do the movement just by keeping my arms straight. Yes. Just do the simple movement, and it's great because all the trainers are on the same wavelength. And a lot of the community is also on that wavelength. So they will help guide you. So there's a lot of guidance. Sue was there, Mike was there, Dave was there. Got a lot of guidance in the early days, and it just built upon it. And it was great. I think I was there like 2 or 3 years before I had my heart issue.
It's like 2018-ish, 2017-ish.
Yeah, I know I took time off for COVID.
Which is 2019, 2020.
Yeah, which was really hard. I took time off for COVID because then you miss this place every day. But the way it was laid out, because of all the things that the country was going through, it was better just to...
This was better to lay back and play it safe.
I thought it was better, but now I wished I wouldn't, because then I had to come back and get that ground, because there's a baseline of fitness you have to have here. I mean, if you don't have the baseline of fitness, you can't go at it as hard as you will want to. You don't have the baseline of fitness, because I certainly didn't have it. But going through those little small steps, it built up very quickly because you were led well. So it built up very quickly.
And let's hit that baseline of fitness thing. We hit it on the last time we podcasted a little bit. Let's hit it again. People think, and I hear this all the time, hey, let me get in shape before I come in the CrossFit gym. Trying to get in shape to prepare for CrossFit is like running a mile at a time, trying to prepare for an F1 race. Like, they're totally separate things.
Yes, no,
right?
it's true.
They're totally separate things.
Oh, that's good analogy. Good analogy.
But the baseline is, if you can come through the door and leave your ego at the door, and you can, as simply as sit down to a box and get back up, that's the baseline.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Even if you have some disabilities, if you can move your arms, but not your legs, we can still get you fit.
You know I have no rhythm. You guys know I have no rhythm. I mean, it's double unders. I mean, I still practice, I still try them, but it's like whatever it takes to get that thing done, I just can't do that. So that baseline for me is really a challenge. But any other level of fitness, your cardio or your strength, you have what you have and you bring that here, and then the community helps mold that up to where you would want it to be. They'll tell you, not everybody lifts 400 pounds. Jake goes down there and he warms up with these massive weights. How old is he? 22, 25?
Jake's like 21, 22.
Okay, he's 20, but he goes and he does these amazing movements. Juan, you know, he's been doing it for years. He's incredibly strong. But he started from just a person too.
Yes, correct.
And so did Jake. But you start as just whatever you have, and that's all you need. Whatever you have is all you need. Just come here. The workouts are scaled. They're personally tuned to you. You get a personal trainer for whatever it is a month. You get a personal trainer every day, and they walk you through the steps to build you up, and it builds up very quickly. And then once you start topping out, you're in the groove. You know the challenges, you know the movements, you know the language, you know the routines. You look forward to them, and that's where you have the expectation of, like, I'm really gonna kick butt today. So on the days that you might not be as successful, they tend to be down days. There's a lot of personal analyzation about what you could have done or should have done differently. And sometimes it's just like, Eileen's out of town right now, so I'm lopsided. There's nothing I can do about that. Nothing until she comes back. I mean, there's nothing I can do. She's with her mom. They're doing all these arts and crafts things. They're both being great, and I'm over here just waiting.
just waiting for the light to get back in town.
Just waiting. I spend a lot of time at work. But the baseline of fitness that you need is all that you have when you come in the door. You don't, to try to prepare is wrong. Just come in. Just come in, and they will prepare you, and then you'll build up to a level where you can do all the movements smoothly with easy transitions. Because at the beginning it was like we went from doing burpees to kipping, and then we did power cleans. It's like I couldn't do the math between the movements. But now you read it on the board. It's like, okay, here's the plan. And then your jump rope is here, your box is here, your weights are here, and it blossoms.
What you said something in there. I think it was. I'm gonna have to go back and look it up. I think you said, whatever you have is all you need. And I think that's a great phrase to use. Like, from a fitness standpoint, whatever you have currently is all you need. If you can get through the door, whatever you have is all you need. Speaking to, the other thing you said was like, it was like you gain a certain amount of fluency. Like, fluency happens. You don't become fluent in Spanish by just waking up and seeing people speak Spanish. You start speaking Spanish.
You have to.
And you come into the door and you do a little bit more and you do a little bit more and you speak a little more Spanish. Before you know it, you're speaking Spanish all day long.
It's an efficiency exercise. It's it's just like running or swimming. It's an efficiency. Thank you, God. It's an efficiency exercise. So I come in here and we do the running and then last summer you lean forward, shape your leg into a 4, and all of a sudden I could run twice as fast, half as hard.
Yeah.
It's just the efficiency. But all I had was what I had, and you took that kernel and made it grow. So now, running still sucks.
No, it sucks for me too. Don't worry. It sucks for me too.
Well, I was going to say it's not so bad, but no, it still sucks.
Yeah.
But it doesn't suck as bad.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't suck as bad. But it's those little things. It's like here, shape your leg like this. Well, you didn't say run like this. You said make your leg do this. So if you make your leg do this while you're moving, you're automatically running faster. And it was really, because now I can keep up with Bill if I try. Okay.
It's coming for you, Bill.
No, because he's a great runner.
Yeah.
If it's just a running workout, like Murph, gone. But Gretchen, gone. They're great runners. But running is an efficiency exercise. The more you do, the better you get. Everything that you bring in here is an efficiency exercise. The more you do, the better you get. You're not going to be where you want to be overnight. It's going to take time. But once you come through the doors, you can see it. You can see how it can happen. You can do the math on it, and all you have to do is do the math. I was talking with Acacia yesterday. The workout was very hard. I expected to perform better, and I asked her, it's like, what do I need to do to get better at this so it's not as difficult? And there were 200-meter runs, and they were 300-meter runs, and they went okay, but they weren't great. And instead of her saying something like, do sit-ups or air squats or something like that, she said, run further, harder. God, I wish I wouldn't ask that question. Jeez. I wish I wouldn't ask. It was like, no, that was not. It's like, well, it makes perfect sense.
Yes.
It makes perfect sense. If you want to run faster, run faster. If you want a better time, run faster. Okay, but I got to get to that. But and even though, and that's her sense of humor, and she's great. I think the world of her. I'm just going to have to do it. Yeah. Because she's not wrong.
Well, it can be as simple as that.
It is.
It's as simple as that. Well, how do I run faster, harder? You just run faster, and then you run longer, and you run harder.
Right. You just do that, and that's all you do. But if you can come through the door and somebody can give you those keys, you could do it. Yeah. You can do it. Okay. Let's say let's say you give 100%. You gave 100%. What else can you do? But the next time you do it, that 100% is only going to feel like 99%. So you can run further, longer, faster. So, and it all builds on itself. Nobody is great overnight. The people that I see in here have been doing it for years. It's tremendous movements, but it's part of the fluidity that you learn when you come in the door. And they started with all they had when they first started 100%, too. 100%. So even though I see them now and they're competitive athletes, back in the day, all they had was what they had.
Yeah, well, and to the point of, like you said, like when you come into the door, you can see how it can happen.
Yeah.
There's physical manifestations of that as well.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
There's someone who's about your same size, probably about your same age, who has been through the door and started where you're starting at, and you see where they are now. No one's the finished product, but you see where they are. Right. And if you ask them, they can give you their steps to the equation.
It becomes possible. Excuse me. I spent a lot of years rock climbing, and you would go up to a wall and you'd look it up at the wall. It's like, wow, that can't be done. That can't be done. Yeah. But as soon as somebody climbs it, it's like, oh, it can be done. And then everybody does it. Recently, the Dawn Wall over in Yosemite, it was unclimbable. Now they're free soloing it.
Yeah, El Cap, yep.
Okay,
yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, you do it with no ropes.
With no ropes. How did that happen?
Yeah.
But it does happen. So you come in here and you see the people that are doing it, and you see that anything is possible. It is all possible when you come in here. Even if you have a crap attitude, that will fall away because you can see that it can be done. It's so positive, and the work is so hard, but it's so positive. You see that it can be done. So you just bring yourself in here and get started. That's what it takes. A lot of people struggle with that. It might be intimidating, but everything is scaled to get everybody going. And the athletes that are superior athletes here now started on day one, just like nobody else.
Just like everybody else, yep.
But you bring the systems, you bring the tools, the equipment, you bring the knowledge base, you bring the nutrition piece, which other places, if you're working out by yourself, you're never going to get that. So those changes, those opportunities, are going to be completely missed. So I've been working out here for a few months, and my weight is dropping. I'm getting stronger, but I'm kind of flatlining. I want to lose some of this excess weight. Desiree is just she goes, oh, you need to eat more protein. It's like you should eat a gram of protein for every pound of weight you have. Like, I didn't read that anywhere. Who knows that?
Yeah.
And talk to you about it.
Yeah.
I talked to April about it. She's brilliant with this nutrition. I do the protein. Everything is changing. It's not changing overnight.
No,
but you can see the change. You can feel the change.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but if you apply what you learn here, wow. I mean, you can't fail.
Yeah.
You can't.
You really can't fail.
You can't fail. If you apply what you learn, you can't fail. But I think that's true in a lot of things too. I think it's true in a lot of things too. Back in the day at the other place, I had learned the system. I knew what to do when we have the workout. We're going to do the workout, and I know what it is. And this one, I had a heart attack in July of 17.
Yeah, which I wanted to get back to that. So
yeah, but I knew what to do. I knew what to do, and I was doing it. And I got to the fifth set, and it's like, well, these are really hard. I should slow down. It was 8 sets of 8 power cleans as heavy as you could. And I should really slow down because we are all safe here. Nobody ever wants to get hurt.
Safety is the number one thing we're trying to push.
Absolutely, because you can get carried away.
First, yes.
You can I could get carried away. Anybody could get carried away because it is kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know, it is.
Well, and to the point of carrying, like you don't know what your limit is until you start pushing it, right? Yep. So there's that. Coach's number one job is always to keep people safe, right? That's what the movement warm-ups are for, teaching you how to do the movements. It's safety first. But then we do allow people to push their limit, though. Like, push your limit. Like, unless your form's not falling apart, you can go hard sometimes.
That's right. You guys always give the challenge, but on the safety piece, when you're in CrossFit and you go on vacation to other places, you find the local CrossFit. And we've all been in other gyms. I've been in other CrossFit gyms, Arizona, Florida. They are not like us. Okay, we're going to do power cleans today. Everybody get a bar.
Yeah.
Okay. The safety feature is not as pronounced. Okay. And one of the places that I went to, the coach was going to work out while you worked out too, so he wasn't really keeping an eye on anybody.
Oh, dude.
It's his business, and that's how they roll. But you have to. But the thing is, when you go on vacation, you don't just sit on your ass. You go find a place to work out, and then you go fishing.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you go to the beach. And
then you go to the
drink
beach.
your margarita, whatever. Yeah.
But then again, well, I got to work out tomorrow, so I'm not going to stay up and drink.
Yeah.
Okay, which is great.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, it was great. But the safety feature here is superior to other places that I have experienced. Not talking down at them. They run their own businesses. They run their businesses how they want to. But with what we do here, safety is a key feature. It's highlighted every single day in the warm-ups. It starts with that first warm-up because it starts with the simplest movement. And it starts with a PVC pipe instead of a bar. I'm sorry, you're taking really good care of us.
Appreciate it.
But on the day in July when I had the heart attack, I'm doing the 8 sets 8, and the 5th set, I thought, well, I was overdoing it. So the next one I broke into 2 sets, 4 and 4. And when I was done, I thought that I had let myself down because I really could have done it. So the next 2 I did back to back, and it went just great. Great form, great movement. But when I was done, I was huffing and puffing, I was sweating, and that was agitated. So I'm cleaned up, went home, showered, everything, running errands around town. I'm still sweating and I'm still agitated. I go to the chiropractor because I thought I pinched a nerve. I tried to lay down and take a nap because I thought I was just pumped up. Okay, so we're in town, Eileen and I are driving around, and we come up to the end of Colorado and 88th, and if you turn left, you go to our house. If you turn right, you go back into town. And she turns right, and I don't question her because
she's your wife. You don't question your wife.
No, she knows what's going on. She knows what she's.
Wife.
Don't question your wife. She knows there's some place I didn't think of that we should have gone or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm along for the ride, and whatever she wants to do is great. It's great anyway. And she's driving, and she's cool, and she's not perspiring, and I'm over here and I'm sweating. It's like, and I go, honey, are you hot? She goes, no, I'm fine. And she drives down to the North Suburban Hospital, and she pulls up to the ER, and it's like, do we have to do something here? And she goes, go in and tell them you're having a heart attack. Why? Why would I do that? Let's just go tell him. It's like, so I go in there and I tell him that, whoop, right into the cath lab.
any kind of
right there. The cardiologist, Marcia Petrina, great guy, great physician, takes me in there. He goes in through my brachial artery, goes through here, back of my heart, puts in a stent, and 20 minutes later I'm back to normal. I mean, better than normal. Better than normal because everything was fine. But I didn't have the classic symptoms of heart attack. But Eileen knew something was wrong, and that's what she landed on. And of course, she was right. I was in the cath lab for 20 minutes. They put me up in the ICU. It was a great experience. They had everything on high definition TVs. Okay, so you could see what they were doing.
Yeah.
Now, I had a malformed artery when I was born. They could have fixed it when I was born, but they didn't catch it. So I was going to have a heart attack no matter what.
At some point.
I was going, period, hands down. Everybody who has this has a heart attack. Okay, so my number was up and that was that. So I did the work and they sent me up to ICU and they put me in the room and I immediately wanted to leave because I feel fine. I feel fine. I feel better than fine because my blood is flowing through my body. My blood is flowing through my body and I have to oxygenate it. So I'm breathing deeper, which was a whole revelation. It's like I had to relearn how to breathe because now my blood was requiring more oxygen. And it was great. But I'm sitting in the room. I didn't want to be in the bed. I got out of the bed. I was sitting in the chair. I was leaning back on two legs in the chair. The sun's coming in behind me, and the room is dark and quiet, nice and cool. I was reading whatever magazine they had left in the room. And there's a little tap on the door, and the door opens real slowly. This big giant guy comes in, doctor, and he's got my paperwork in front of him. Can I help you? And he jumps out of his skin because he didn't expect this.
Yeah,
and he looks at the paperwork and he looks at me and goes, "Did you just have a heart attack?" I said, "Yeah, but that was like a half hour ago."
This is like a half hour ago. I had a heart attack. That was 30 minutes ago.
No, he told me, so this is about a half hour. Can I go? And he goes, "Well, no, we're going to keep you for 2 days, 48 hours. It's like, oh, no, that's not going to work. No, not in here, not for 2 days. But they put blood in your veins.
Dye in your veins.
Yeah, they put dye in your veins so they can measure them.
Okay.
And they did measure them, and they were all, the baseline is 1 that they use, but mine were all 1.25 or better, which is really, really great. Yeah. And that you get that from CrossFit. You get that from CrossFit. And I'm telling the doctor I don't want to be here, and he's going to keep me no matter what, but he sits down on the bed, and I have never seen a doctor sit down.
Yeah, these don't
have you?
No, they usually stand over you.
No, right,
you, yeah.
Right.
Because you're usually in the bed.
And he looked at the thing and said, "I see you do CrossFit." And he says right to me, he goes, because you do CrossFit, you get to live, which is a powerful statement because what if you didn't? What if we wouldn't have come through that door on that day? And that's Eileen. What if I wouldn't have come through that door? I'd be dead just like the next guy who had the same thing that you're going to have no matter what. Now, you don't know you have it until you have it.
Yeah.
But if you have it, it could be bad.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate because I was involved with CrossFit and it saved my life. And the doctor was smart enough to recognize it because sometimes doctors they prescribe pills, and I don't know if pills are always good. They never talk about nutrition, which is weird. You're in a hospital and they're giving you sugar water, the IV solutions and things like that, but they don't give you protein. So it's weird, some of the things in the medical community, but I'm not that smart. But this guy sits down on the bed and he goes, "Because you do CrossFit, you get to live," which was great because I'm proud of CrossFit. So I was happy. The guy in the room next to me, big giant guy, had had a heart attack. Not the same.
Not the same thing, but had a heart
not
attack.
the same, but he had a heart attack. And his daughters are bringing him food because they love him. And I get that. But they're these big aluminum trays of
just junk.
Yes. But you shouldn't eat that, especially just because of what happened.
Yeah, you just had a heart attack. That's what caused you to have a heart attack,
right,
probably.
You're re-killing your dad. I mean, did you really want to do that? But then I can get where they want him back, but they were kind of, in my opinion, barking up the wrong tree because I would have done what the doctor said. And my doctor said, as soon as you're out of here, you're good to go. So I missed 2 days of CrossFit, but I made him up on the third day. So it was good.
Dude.
But at least he was smart enough to say that.
Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of people, they'll talk down to CrossFit because it's hard, it's challenging. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be challenging.
Correct.
And do you really want a workout that isn't challenging?
Yeah.
Why wasting your time? Just stay at home and do some sit-ups, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not here. You're better every day.
Yeah, every day.
Better every day.
Every day is that pursuit towards excellence, right?
And it is. And you might not frame it as such because you see who's in the parking lot. It's like, cool. These guys are here today. It's like, oh, we're going to have fun. And we do.
Well, and so that's an incredible story. Like, heart attacks are nothing to scoff at, right?
Nope.
And to be better 30 minutes after they put the stent in your chest is
really weird.
It's incredible. It's crazy.
Really weird because it had been getting clogged over time. So my body is getting weaker and weaker over time, and it's imperceptible because it's so slow building. But then when it happened, and I was able to, I was still functional getting into the cath lab where they put in the stent. And I was still functional, and everybody comes up and says, "Well, I'm Linda. I'm your respiratory person, and like, do you smoke? Are you afraid to go home?" It's like, I'm having a heart attack. What does that have to do with it? Next guy, I'm Rick. I'm doing this part. Do you smoke? Are you afraid to go home? And they all asked. By the time they got done asking, I wanted a cigarette. I swear to God. Why would I be afraid to go home? I'm in a hospital. Of course I want to go home.
Yeah.
But they were wonderful. Holy cow. The medical technology was great. And they did save my life. Eventually, if I didn't deal with it, it probably would have killed me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I dodged a huge bullet. Thank God I dodged a huge bullet. But Eileen's smart enough to recognize what I would not, because things happen, I mean, you overwork yourself, you're sore the next day. There's a cause and an effect. So the effect that I'm having, I'm sure something caused it. It just turned out to be a heart attack. Yeah. Okay.
Those wives of ours, man, they make our lives
they
easier. They
really
keep us going, keep us ticking.
They really do. They literally keep us ticking.
Yeah. Okay. In your case, literally keep you ticking.
So I'm really glad for that. But because of CrossFit, I get to live. That's burned in my memory now forever. So, and people, if we're talking about CrossFit, they'll say, "Oh, it's just too hard and just can't save your life." It could save your life. Okay, so
yeah,
and I only speak from experience. Okay,
it's not credible experience, right?
Wow.
So actually, CrossFit's making this push now. Actually, they have been for a couple of years now, where they're trying to get more doctors involved. There's a couple of doctors.
Yeah.
I've only met a couple of doctors in CrossFit gyms. There was one, the original gym I went to. His name was William Lee. He was cancer. He was an oncologist.
That's tough.
But yeah, it's a tough job. But William, he was a bigger guy as a doctor.
Sure.
And then he lost like 100, 150 pounds, 200 pounds. And he loves it. He religiously does CrossFit now. He refuses to do anything else because he knows how important it is.
Right.
And in his case, CrossFit also saved his life, right? Just in a different aspect. If he was going to die of a heart attack one day with that size, but he lost all that weight. So now CrossFit, they're making a push to get doctors their level 1, which is the baseline certification to coach a CrossFit class, but just to give doctors more the understanding of what fitness is and how it can help save lives. Sure. Let's get people saved before they get to the hospital. Let's keep them as healthy as possible so we can avoid less heart attacks.
It's much more cost effective because you said this before. You either pay now or you pay later.
Yes.
And I don't want to lose the quality of life that I have. Okay, I'm close to retirement. The family's doing well. I want to have the years to enjoy that. But if anybody needs something, I want to be able to jump in and help out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the
Yeah.
Well, I can't do that.
Well, we got to make sure a chair is there for dad. So
right. No, I don't want that.
You said something earlier too. You said something about as you get older, life takes things from you. So you're very calculated with what you allow it to take.
You got to yes. You don't want to. You want to keep the things become more valuable to you that you may not have thought were valuable 20 years ago. Okay. Time is valuable. I want everybody to have efficient time.
Yeah.
No, you don't get it back. So if you come here, the time you spend here, you get back in life tenfold, easily. I got my whole life back.
Yeah.
I got everything back. So, so tenfold is not really going over the top. But you pay now or you pay later. Having physicians involved at this was good. When CrossFit first got started, it got a bad name because there was kind of only one way of CrossFit that was talked about. Nobody talks about the scaling.
Yeah.
Nobody ever, what's scaling?
Yeah.
It's the entry level. It's the first floor.
Yeah.
It's where you just get started. And it's hard and it's challenging, but it's the base that you build upon. It's the foundation. It's the foundation, and the stronger the foundation, the stronger you are. Simple as
But
that.
if you go to a good gym, and I hope most 99% of CrossFit gyms are the same way, I would hope. But if you go to a good gym, and there's the CrossFit athlete who's been competing for years, myself, next to the guy who comes in the door, if the coach knows what they're doing, they can scale the workout. So you and I will finish very close to the same time.
Absolutely. Oh, you never feel as a not substandard, a subordinate athlete. Whether you finish on time isn't really, that falls away. That's not really that an important thing, that you finish well. There's what people look for.
Yes.
Okay. If you're looking at the clock, I never look at the clock. They'll tell me when to start and when to stop. Okay. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you finish well, you're looking to finish well or at a level where you want it to finish. Okay. But the clock, if you finish a Pierre, box jump overs, unbelievably efficient. So if you partner with him, you got to be careful because he's going to be done in 20 seconds, and it's going to take you a minute and a half. So he's going to be well rested by the time he has to do his 20 seconds again. Yeah. But you don't watch the clock so much. You do want to finish well, but they do. Even during the workout, they'll come and say, your pace is good, or you're struggling at this pace, do 18 calories instead of 20. Okay, right then on the spot.
Yes.
And I'm huffing and puffing. Who came up? I think it was April. And I was really going to town on the cycling. And she goes, if that's too steep, back off a couple calories. And it's just a word of wisdom. Back off a couple of calories, finished under the time cap, finished well, but didn't throw up, which was the benefit. I'm sorry. Didn't throw up, which was the benefit, because a lot of times you come close and it's fun to dodge that bullet.
It's right here.
It's right here. But you do want to dodge that bullet. It's like, I'm just going to walk over here for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, it happens to everybody, and it should happen.
Yes.
You want to get there. You want to get right to that wall. You want to get right to that wall. Just stop right there.
Yeah, one have the ability to get to that wall, right? Like,
and you can.
Well, and that speaks to like your fitness level. The more you get in the door and the more fit you are, the more aware you are where those things are, right? So God forbid if you ever have another heart attack, you'll feel it coming on way ahead of time because you're just like, my body just says, I just don't feel right today.
That could happen.
I just don't feel right today, right? Well, not 100% of the time, but the little things, like you're just more in tune with your body.
You're very in tune with your body, and that's what I went through, and what we do here. It would be almost comical if I had a heart attack. It would be almost funny. It's like, I don't know how I'm going to die, and time takes us away, but I don't worry so much about a heart attack. The nutrition, the information that I get here, the knowledge base that I get here, I mean, that helps. The workout, your number's up no matter what.
Yeah, nothing you can do about it.
No matter what I say. Yeah. But the number's up. But, it's going to be a fiery car crash or maybe a shark attack or something like that. Because the heart attack thing, I'm not so concerned about anymore. After what I've been through, what the doctor told me, and what we do here, and how I live my life outside here, I'm not so concerned about it. So, you get the physicians in here so they can see how it is, because yes, you either pay now or pay later, but if you can just come here and do it, you don't have to pay. And it's fun doing it. I'm sorry, it's fun. It's fun. Not that we're sadists, but it's fun.
And what Chris is saying, we talked about in the last podcast too, but like he said, you either pay now or you pay later. And that was in terms of fitness and healthcare. Like you either pay for the gym membership now and you use it appropriately. And what our membership is doesn't compare to and actually I just heard like Lifetime Fitness is $150 and our lowest membership is $180. And Lifetime, there's no coaching. You go there and you coach yourself. And it's $150 a month for you to use the sauna and the pool and all those things that like you're never going to use anyway.
No training, no coach, no helping?
No coaching. Just to use the place.
That's how you get hurt. But I did that before I came here. I was doing exactly that before I came here. And the value that you get here is spectacular. You get, and unfortunately, you get a personal trainer on you during your hour of class. So when you're doing the burpees and you're really tired and you really want to give up, you walk up and say, okay, 2 more. Thanks very much. I really appreciate that. That's great. Thank you. Let's go bother somebody else. But you have a trainer on you.
Yes.
And the other place, if you don't have that, you could get hurt. Or excuse me, you could just be wasting your time.
Yeah, you're doing things the wrong way.
Doing things the wrong way,
Yes.
because you want to focus on this muscle group. You want to think about this. You want to use your core instead of your legs. Okay, that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, that hip swing, right?
It makes all the difference in the world because the knowledge. So, bang for your buck, incredible. The other gyms, you swipe the card and there's nobody there. You have a key card or something like that. Wow, I don't see why a person would go there, because there's nothing there. There's a bunch of tools. But if you don't know how to use the tools, they're just inanimate objects. And you see what other people do, or maybe you did something like it in high school, maybe some in college. No, technology has changed. The equipment has changed. Some of the pieces that we have now, we never had before, and they focus on specific groups for specific reasons. And having that knowledge makes you stronger and healthier for the future. And you get that out of your monthly membership. It's priceless. It's priceless.
Yeah.
So no, auto pay, off it goes. You bet you I'll be here.
Yeah. So yeah, you pay now or you pay later. You're either paying for the health and fitness now, or you will pay later in hospital bills and prescription drugs.
And the care.
And that one's going to cost you way more than what this is going to cost you on a month-to-month basis.
And you may never recover, and you may not get any stronger. Here, you're stronger every day. You're one step closer to a better person. So if something does happen, let's say, hey, I'm in a fiery car crash, I think I'll probably survive most of it because I'm a little healthier than I was the day before.
A little more muscle mass,
a
absolutely.
little healthier than the day before. So bang for the buck, you betcha. And well, I forget how much I was paying at the boot camp, but when we signed up, not even a blink. But once you, joke's on you, man. If that's all you're going to charge me, cool. Yeah. That's great. That's good. If that's all you're going to charge, fine. I'm great.
All right, you guys heard it here first. Chris says we should raise our membership rates. We're going up to $250 a month.
Well, and they might. But here's the thing: if they did, and everything's going up in this economy, and everything is going up in this economy. This happened in the '70s. I was alive for it. You weren't.
Born in '87.
Oh, good for you. But I remember this. I remember this from the '70s. Same things happening. Work hard, save your money, find the value in things. You can't stop your life, but find the value in things. Some of the things are going to fall away. Going out to dinner, things like that. Long car trips, gas is $5 a gallon, $7 in California. But if you come here, you stay local. You participate in this community. You are stronger in every aspect of your life during these stressful times. Because what we do here, it's a huge stress reliever. A lot of people come here, you can see their focus, and we all chat before and after, whatever, but when you're in your workout, they could be right next to you, and they are right next to you.
Don't know they're there.
You don't even know they're there, which is
singularly focused, yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird because everybody's in their own bubble, but they're aware of everybody else's bubble, and they're respectful of that, they're helpful of that, but there's no real engagement. That's kind of weird. But we're aware, but we're not involved. Okay, and then afterwards, we've all shared a suffering moment, so we're all much stronger for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes the community tighter, right?
Yeah, but in this economy, these are the things you want to do. And I speak as an old man. You want to find the best bargain for your buck. And I'm sorry. So
like you're getting a lot out of it.
But if rates did go up here, I wouldn't be surprised because everything is more expensive. But nothing will change. The place is still the place to go. And business is business. Yeah. So and you do want to keep that.
Yeah. I'm glad you see the value in it because we do struggle with, we want to keep it affordable, quote unquote, right?
Sure.
But like there also needs to be, the cost of doing business is high. This space isn't small.
Right. No, it's not. And this is a great gym.
Yeah.
Best equipment, great gym, always clean, always safe. So it is a huge value. But the thing that we get out of here is you can't put a price on. You can't put a dollar value on. I mean, it saved my life.
Yeah. So there's
okay.
That's
Go ahead and price that out.
Yeah, invaluable.
Yeah, go price that out.
I'm sure your wife will say that's invaluable.
Wife is happy, kids are happy, everything, and I mean it comes from that.
Yeah.
But what we get here is priceless.
Last thing I want to get into, so I can get you out of here.
Eileen's out of town.
I got time.
So here's the thing. I'm either here or at work.
Yeah.
And that's...
But the last thing I want to get into is you didn't start CrossFit when you were a young man. How old were you when you started? And then, like, what was the perception? Because the perception out there is like, I'm not 20 years old. I can't do what 20-year-olds do. That's the perception out there. And that CrossFit is for the 20-year-old ex-athlete or the person who is just crazy. Okay. So talk about, when did you start? How old were you when you started? And you look around you, were people your age doing it already?
People, yeah. I walked in the door. Mike Mullins, about the same age. Dave is the same age. Mm-hmm. I was at the one in Tucson. Mm-hmm. There was a guy that was 71-year-old mm-hmm. and another guy that was 81. Mm-hmm. Oh, instead of being double unders, they're doing plate hops. Mm-hmm. Okay? So everything is scaled so they can still challenge themselves and participate mm-hmm. within their capacity and not get hurt. Yeah. Okay? When I came here, I was so enthused about it. It was 50, maybe 58, 59, mm-hmm. Pushing 60. There was no doubt in my mind because I could see what could happen. Mm-hmm. I could see what it could be. Mm-hmm. So there was never any doubt. It's like, come on, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. So there was never any doubt in my mind. And then I get in here, it's like, Juan's got, 400 pounds on his bar. It's like, okay, where's that 400 pounds of Samson, Dave Sampson? Sampson. So Samson.
Simpson? No.
Simpson.
I don't know.
Can't remember. So I go in there, and he was doing power cleans with somebody else.
Dave Lurkey, the old owner. David?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. David?
Yeah.
Okay,
David,
good.
Dave
There
Lurkey,
we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, Samson was a coach in college. Jesus, I'm getting old. But anyway, I'm just a regular guy, and I go in there, and they got the bar, and they're working out. They're doing power cleans over there, and he doesn't know me from anybody. Do you want a piece of this?
that's Dave for you, dude. You said it last time, and I knew it was coming, and it still is. Like, it's so Dave.
It's like, yeah, and it really was. It's like he's got all this weight on there. It's like, well, I might be able to lift the bar, but they were willing to take the weights off the bar and show me the movements. They were all on board with who I was, with who I was. So from nothing, everything. Okay, so when I came through the doors, I had no doubts. Okay. I knew it would be a challenge. I knew it would be fun. I knew it would be worthwhile. Most of all, worthwhile, because there's things we do in our lives where we spend that time. Well, we're never going to get that hour and a half back. Mm-hmm. You never say that about here. Mm-hmm. Okay, never. Okay, so but I knew what was possible. I could see what was possible. Incredibly exciting. I would do 2 classes a day whenever I could, but I work a lot, so I can't. If I didn't work at all,
I'd be in here all the time.
I'd be here all the time.
You live
I'd
here.
be here all because it is good.
Yeah,
it is good, and I mean, and then the value is here. But everything became possible when I came through those doors. Everything became possible because all the times I was going to other gyms, things were possible, but I didn't have a roadmap. I didn't have a guide. Now I have both. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, everything became possible.
That's awesome.
Yes. Man. Couldn't ask for more. I'm so blessed to be here, really.
We're as a gym owner and a coach, person who's been coaching for a long time, way longer than I've been owning a gym. It's always great to have a member who really appreciates what we do, and also like brings so much value to every class too. And you're one of those guys, Chris. Like you keep to yourself for the most part, but when you do go out of your way and you say like you get fist bumps, you tell people good job, like. It means a lot to everybody around you because every single time you do it, it means a lot. Like so, I appreciate having you in class. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I appreciate your sense of humor when it comes out. It can be dry at times, but hilarious. Yeah. But I appreciate all that. I appreciate all that, and the community appreciates it too.
You were here for the drinking part?
I think so.
Yeah, that was you. You were like it is. Like you're not supposed to drink when you're here. It's like since when? It's a great group of people. Yeah. And it changes all the time. I mean, the 8:30 class today was doing the 5 o'clock on a.m. and Monday and Tuesday. Crazy fun people. 5 a.m. Oh my God. Boy, you couldn't ask for better, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm sorry, you couldn't ask for better.
That's awesome.
I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I appreciate everything we get here, every opportunity. Every day is an opportunity here. So even if your mindset is not right, there's new opportunity here. Always.
Awesome.
Always.
Well, Chris, I appreciate you, man. Guys, that's the Off the Couch podcast. Again, if you get a chance to like, subscribe, share, we'll post some of these clips on our Instagram as well. It's at CrossFit Mob. Chris, thanks
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Great, CJ.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Off the Couch Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, let's try to find something that inspires us to get off the couch.